Welcome to my kitchen. I miss you all. I hope everyone is healthy and safe and having fun at home. Today we're gonna make banana bread. So the things that you'll need: 3 bananas. If they're a little bit ripe, that's actually better. So not too yellow, not really green. We also need soft butter. I left mine out overnight to soften. White sugar. And 2 eggs. What else do we need? Some kind of flour. We're using whole wheat flour because all-purpose flour was sold out. And then we need baking soda and some salt and vanilla. It's right here. Vanilla. And then I'm gonna add chocolate chips into mine. You don't have to, you can if you want. I like the chocolate. Okay, I have already washed my hands. Make sure you wash your hands before you start. Put your hair up if you need to. And I have also preheated my oven to 350 degrees. So make sure it gets nice and hot and is fully heated before you start cooking. Okay, the first step, you're gonna need a bowl. We need a few bowls, so I have 3 out. We want to cream together our soft butter, so 1/2 cup of butter and 1 cup of sugar. So I'm gonna get the sugar first. Okay, 1 cup. And then I need 1/2 cup of soft butter. Gotta open it up, it's pretty squishy. This butter has little measurements on the side, which is super helpful. Then I don't have to weigh it. 1/2 cup. I'm gonna cut it into a couple little pieces so it's easier to cream together. You could be using a mixer if you have one. I'm gonna mix by hand. Okay, this first part is the hardest. We're just gonna kind of crush up all the butter as much as we can. I have a couple different forks, utensils. Keep mixing until it's nice and creamed together. Okay, so I switched. The whisk wasn't a really good idea. I used the fork for a bit and now my wooden spoon. And we're getting pretty good here, all creamed together. Again, if you have a mixer, it's the easiest way. This took about 5 minutes to get everything all mixed together. But it's doable. If you don't have a mixer, all you really need is the fork worked the best and then a wooden spoon. Okay, I'm gonna put this aside, and in our big bowl, our next step is our eggs and our bananas. So I'm gonna crack our 2 eggs. One. 2. It's a pretty big bowl. You can't really see in here. Okay, all in together. And next, our bananas. I'm gonna break them up just to make it a little bit easier to mash them. If you have a potato masher, that's the best tool for this trick, or this step. I don't, so we're just gonna mash them with the whisk. So I have them all broken up. This is when soft bananas really come in handy. They're a little bit easier to mash. You know what? The fork might be the better tool again. You can also mash the bananas first and then add the egg. It's a little less messy. But we're making it fun. Almost got it. Okay, let's switch back to this whisk. Now we'll see. Not bad. We'll mix a little bit more so it's not as lumpy. Okay, that's sort of the consistency you want it. You want a little bit of banana in there. If you want less, keep mixing. Okay, our next step is to, don't fall in, add our butter and sugar into this mixture. I'm going to use the wooden spoon. If you have an electric mixer for this step, I would recommend it. Just as a little bit easier on your hands. So I know so far we've used butter, and we're also going to be using flour, which some people can't have. So In the directions and ingredients that I send out, I'll make sure that I send out dairy-free and gluten-free and soy-free alternatives that we can put in. All right, my mixture is pretty good here. I'm gonna put this bowl aside and grab another bowl because our next step is our dry ingredients. I forgot one more step. We're gonna add half a teaspoon of vanilla into this mixture. And then just give it a quick mix around. Vanilla isn't absolutely necessary, so if you don't have vanilla, don't worry about it. There we go. That's what this guy looks like. All right, now we're on to the flour. Let's grab our other bowl. Okay, for our dry ingredients, we're putting in flour, baking soda. We're also going to be putting in salt. Mine is in a grinder, so I'm not going to measure it out. I'm just going to give it a crank. It calls for half a teaspoon, so that's not too much. So flour, we might actually be able to do it. I need 1.5 cups. Oh, you can't see, but I got a full cup there. I also have a bowl right here. I'm just putting all my dirty dishes in. And 1/2 cup. There we go. You don't have to sift it if you don't have a sifter. It makes it a little fluffier. It's kind of nice. Okay, and the salt. Like I said, 1/2 teaspoon. I don't have the ability. That's probably good. Hopefully it's not too much. And then I want 1 teaspoon of baking soda. That's a tablespoon. 1 teaspoon of baking soda. I don't know if it'll fit in here. Let's hope. There we go. And then we're gonna sift all that good stuff together. You might also have a hand sifter. Those are pretty fun. You put it in, it looks like a mug. This is all I have here. The next step is the biggest workout step. It's mixing all of the wet stuff we already mixed into all the dry stuff. You need muscles for this one. Mine's whole wheat flour, so I have a little bit of leftovers. I'm not gonna dump those into the bread. Okay, here's our dry mixture and our wet stuff. We're gonna pour it in. You don't wanna over mix it, so try and pour in about half, mix it up, and then pour in the other half. If you're really strong, you can pour it all in, but it gets a little tricky to mix. Almost done. Okay, last half of the flour. Starting to come together. Got a little bit of banana chunks in there. That's how I like it. You can always mash yours up a little bit more. Ooh, my hair. Okay, now for the best step. We're gonna put in, let's say half a cup. Sort of however much you want, half, quarter, a third, 2/3 chocolate chips. Spilled a couple, that's okay. There we go. You can also do something like sliced almonds or raisins, or you don't have to put anything in at all. Banana bread is delicious just on its own anyways. All right, that's what it looks like. Mine's a little browner than yours might be because I'm using whole wheat flour. That's all that was at the grocery store. Hopefully you can get some all-purpose flour, gluten-free flour, something like that. All right. Okay, our last step before cooking is a nice sprayed pan. I used coconut oil. You can use any kind. If you just have olive oil and you use some wax paper or some butter or something. And then a little bit of flour. Not too much. Just to keep it from sticking. I'm not doing a very good job. Let's use one of these. If you don't have a brush, don't worry about it. I'm pretty fancy. I'm just wiping it all around. Okay, dump off the extra. And this next part is tricky. You might need 2 people to help you, or 1 person to help you. I only have myself, so I'll do as best I can. With your spatula, we're gonna get all of the batter into the loaf pan. You can also do this as muffins, so in a muffin or a cupcake tin. Not bad. I haven't spilled any yet, I don't think. Okay. Get all the goodies. My table's a mess. Oh, oops. Okay, give it a little pat down. We're gonna put it in the oven for about 50 minutes at 350 degrees, but we already turned the oven on, so let's put her in. Ooh, there's a chocolate chip on the bottom. Okay. I'm gonna set my timer for 50 minutes, and while that's on, I'm gonna clean up. Okay, my banana bread is in the oven. Still watching my timer. I'm just about to start my dishes, but I'll probably end the video here. Thanks for baking with me, and we still have chocolate chip cookies and my favorite Nanaimo bars coming up. So look for those videos this week or the start of next week, and if you have any requests or suggestions, send me an email, maybe a recipe if you have an old family favorite, and then all of us from GN and Integra can bake together and then feel like we're all in the same kitchen again. Bye!